a lot of this could have been eased today. Some say if we simply saw the Turks consider the release of Pastor Andrew Brunson. He has been detained, we say as a political prisoner. They say as a legitimate prisoner for doing some bad things over there. A lot of people seem to think that had he been released, we could have eased this crisis a lot. The read now from a former Secretary of State under Bush 43, Robert Charles. A court there denying that, obviously at the behest of President Erdogan, who did not want him released. So he's holding and hanging tough. What do you make of that?
You know, by the way, I agree with your prior speaker about the dollar badly affecting Turkey. But I think Turkey is a unique case, and this particular conflict with Turkey is also unique. At the end of the day, President Erdogan, with whom I have sat, needs to ask himself, what does it mean to be a reliable ally? And you certainly don't take hostages of citizens from another allied country, and that's the way I view what has happened with this person. He thinks that he can get a swap with an interfaith leader that took refuge here in the United States. I think he just needs to know that will never happen. But at the end of the day, you know, it's part of a larger nested set of problems. Erdogan has decided he's going to buy S-400 anti-missile systems from Russia, and that, again, you know, we're sworn to defend Turkey under Article 5. I think he needs to ask himself, does a reliable ally buy from an adversary here? And that, by the way, puts him in conflict with the F-35 purchase in the United States of 100 F-35s. They are incompatible, those two systems. The United States Congress has decided they want to try to cut off maybe the F-35 purchase. I think that's a bad choice. I think the better choice is a win-win. And I do believe that currently Secretary Pompeo is pushing that right now. The idea that we get the Turkish to buy more of the Patriot batteries, not this Russian battery. And the other thing that I come back to, and it goes to the economy in Turkey, is they need to say to themselves, does a reliable ally step away from trade in the United States dollar, the international standard? They're talking about now trading lira with rubles for Russia for this purchase and other purchases. And at the end of the day, you know, that's like trading, you know, soap bubbles for clouds. They both change their value, their shape. It's really not fruitful.
You know, I'm always wondering, it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback, but didn't we get some hint of what we're dealing with in Erdogan at least two occasions? The last time he was here in this country, his bodyguards and security were beating up folks outside the compound. That should have been among the clues we could have gathered that this is not a stable or reliable or certainly playing to political norms guy. And we had gotten this relationship going, and you always want to, you know, talk to leaders of any country to move the ball forward, but that he was a nutcase.
Yeah, so it's interesting the perspective that you have, and it's not wrong. You know, for 65 years, Turkey has been a reliable ally. And, you know, historically they've had ups and downs, and they've had the military intercede to stabilize things. But they've been a very reliable ally, and they're in a pivotal spot between the Middle East and Europe. What you see with Erdogan is he's a very emotional guy. He's a guy who's an Islamist by his own declaration. He's also a guy that seems sort of whimsical, preoccupied by the Ottoman Empire, which all is a warning sign that, you know, you need to just take a deep breath and think about what does it mean to be a NATO ally. We do about $17 billion in trade with Turkey. Surely they're never going to get from Russia and Iran what they get from the rest of the West. And I think a deep think would put him in a position where he tipped a little more closely toward reliable ally and maybe even increasingly secular leader, and away from this idea that somehow this emotional strain is going to get him somewhere valuable in the long term. I don't think Russia or Iran are going to in any way counterbalance the relationship that he historically and that country has historically had with the United States and the West.
We shall see. Robert, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much. You're one of the few guests I know who can bring in the Ottoman Empire to our discussion. It proves your gravitas. All right.